Yo, guys, I'm man under the ghost.
Bitches Billy Bo, I don't bang no Billy though. Glock up in my helicopter, stay up on my side phone. I really got the antidote. Brother move like 10 a day, I seen him do it on the low. Whoa, niggas know my name.
My name is Chris Hendricks with Manando. So I just want to give you guys a quick update about Nasdaq and the video that I uploaded a few days ago. So basically, we're around these areas. We executed these buys, great setups, and I want to tell you guys about the importance of protecting your account through stop losses, as the setup that we took, the last setup that we took, actually didn't go our way, but it was like we got stopped out through the stop loss, obviously, because we were protecting our account, and at the same time our predictions were not that far off. I'm just gonna add a clip from the last video. We kind of have something a little bit interesting. As you can see, if I use this, we have, let me just get this out the way. We have a support right there, right? Resistance. And to me, this looks so good, right? This literally looks so good. It looks so good. And look how many touches we have. 1, 2, 3 touches. Remember, the third touch on our structure, it has the highest probability. Literally the highest probability. And okay, cool. Let's focus on the third touch now. If I zoom in, you can see as the price was getting to the third touch, you see this candlestick was huge. This one became smaller, and then this one became smaller, and as it goes, right? So this candlestick is quite small, which shows the the bearish movement is losing momentum, and this shows a bit of it reversing. So the next candlesticks are bullish right now, right? So two things could actually one thing, if this closes, I'm buying. Like I think I'm gonna buy this one. But it's quite tricky because we're already so close to our zone right here. We already had two bullish uh setups. Look, they were amazing. And this one it's a bit late to the actual structure. As you can see, this is our zone right here, the highest high. We don't know if we're gonna break it or respect it. So the market can simply just uh sell from that point as well. So it's just a matter of I'm not even risking because I already followed all the steps. Um, I'm gonna put my stop loss. So let's say the market opens, the next candlestick opens right there. So I'm gonna put my stop loss at the lowest, just below the lowest point of this that high. So right here, let me zoom in. So right there, that's gonna be my stop loss, and I'm gonna buy maybe to that point. So it's like almost 0.5%. So it's above 0.5%. Risk reward ratio looks like that. I don't think it's bad but then once again, I don't know if we're gonna, but I think we're gonna break this point, dog. I think we're gonna break till maybe around those areas. which gives us almost 1%. Let's push for 1% actually. Okay, we're gonna put it at 1%.
Okay, so you guys saw basically the setup that I was talking about, and it was around these areas. We're looking for a buy basically from that point all the way up basically, and we did mention that we assumed it was going to break this point, this level to the upside, and give us, at the time we're aiming for at least over 1%, something like this basically. And as you can see, it did buy for a bit, but then it ended up just stopping us out, which is always good to use a stop loss. I can't stress that enough. So what actually happened with this setup was that instead of like using this flag that we have right here, this correction for continuation, instead of the market using that setup, it decided to give us a bigger structure like that. As you can see, it was still a correction for a continuation. So the thing is about this structure was it happened in such a big scale, but it was still basically the same setup, even though we got stopped out with this one, which is fine because now we have this beautiful bigger structure. So with big structures, the chances of succeeding are much higher than the small ones, because small structures are either false structures, such as the one that we got stopped out through a stop loss right there from the previous video. We ended up getting this big structure, and the thing is with this big structure, we had so many things going on. As you can see, we have this nice head and shoulders right there as our first signal that we are really going to the upside, and we're going to break this horizontal line, which was fine. And yeah, we could have placed our buys at this point, as it was the third leg of the inverse head and shoulders, which was a phenomenal setup. I won't lie. Even though it took much time to form, it was still valid. But unfortunately, I didn't really see this happening. Yeah, the price bought so much, it broke this horizontal line that we have all the way up, right? So this was basically a 5% trade, which is massive. It's a massive buy. So we just basically entered too early. We took that false flag or correction. We got stopped out, but then the prediction was still correct, as we should have just waited for the bigger structure. But I didn't think there would be a big structure, but I did point out that the prices, it was a 50% chance, like the price would basically sell. I knew the risk, I knew the chances of the price setting were so much high, as we were already at this zone right there. So such a small structure, if I zoom in, such a small structure breaking a huge zone was really kind of like ambitious. But we did take our chances with the setup, because we always use a stop loss, so we don't take major losses. But yeah, that's the importance of a stop loss, because we still had our setup, we still had our direction, we knew that it was gonna buy, but we got stopped out through a stop loss, protecting the account from deep losses. Even though this was like not a massive setback, but yeah, some of you guys, if say you did enter at this point for a buy, you could have held the loss until you recover and get into the green basically. So yeah, that was the new update about that setup that we had from the previous video, which is basically a replica of this whole setup. As you can see, they're very similar in nature, but yeah, same concept. But with this one, we were blessed with this inverse head and shoulders. It was just a blessing, right? But yeah, we didn't see that, and the market formed new revelations. Basically, new things are happening. And let me just get this out the way. As you can see, as the price was buying, it started moving correctively, right? This whole thing is a correction. Sorry about the crazy drawing, but yeah, I'm trying to speed through this, get this video in real quick. But yeah, the price started moving correctively. And what you should know about corrections, say in this case it's a buy, right? And you start having a correction that is more flat than this one that's ascending, right? Say you get a correction that's relatively flat, chances of it being a continuation are much high, right? So in this case, this flat correction tells you that the price is a continuation, basically, right? So let me just so the price is going to continue from this kind of correction. And then we have, say we're still in the same scenario where the price is buying, but then it starts to correct in such a steep manner. So in this case, the price is still buying, but now we have this ascending correction. So in this case, the price could mean that the correction could mean the price is about to reverse, and the chances are so high. So that could be the play. Let me get it down. Reverse. So in this case, it means the price is going to reverse. So that's what the two possibilities of a correction could tell you. The price is either going to continue or the price is going to reverse. And this is in the case of a buy. You could do the same thing for a sell, just the opposite. You basically flip this upside down and it will give you the same scenario. So this is scenario one, scenario A, scenario A and scenario B. So you can see with this one, this is scenario A, as it matches more with this one, the continuation type of correction. It was more flat, and the price broke out, continuing the bullish trend. So with this one, the reversal, as you can see currently, we were in an uptrend and it started moving correctively in such a steep manner, like scenario B right here, where we have the reversal formation. So we had the reversal of the market and the price started going bearish. So I'm just going to quickly explain where you could have entered. For the sake of safety, I would wait for basically a continuation correction. So in this case, it's an impulse, and then we have our correction. So we would wait for that to form, this to form, for us to believe the price is really going down, because this means it's continuing, it's going to continue. So in this case, we had significant touches on the resistance of the setup, which is approximately 3 touches, where the third touch, this is a rule you should know. Let me just type it down. NB, and then third touch has high proper. Right? You guys probably thought I was gonna get my spelling wrong. I see you, nigga. I graduated, boy. High school. Crazy. So, yeah, third touch has highest probability. This point is our third touch. So, meaning from this point, our chances of succeeding are much higher. So, cool. For those who don't wait for a continuation or this correction to form, you would have executed right at the third touch after waiting for a few bearish candlesticks to form, and you would have executed your trade right there. But say you're more of a guy who's more trying to conserve and play it safe. So what you do is wait for an impulse from the third touch, which is that point, right? You wait for an impulse to form, which shows you a bit of strength to the downside, right? Momentum, and then you wait for your correction. So you analyze the correction, place your trade off it, and wait for the drop, right? So as you can see, this is what we basically had. We had this nice impulse to the downside, and then the price corrected going sideways when it was in this area, right? So I'm gonna scale down to the 15-minute time frame and look for more details about this correction. I'm just gonna highlight it, this correction that we have here. Let me just type it down. So this shaded area is our correction, right? So I already did figure out the resistance and support of the structure by drawing those trend lines right there. So we're gonna focus on the resistance of this correction, as it's where we're gonna base our sell from, right? So we already had significant touches, this being our first one, and we're gonna count this as our second one, and that as our third one. Remember, third touch has the highest probability. So okay, let me just remove this shade. So same thing goes with this one. At this point right here, we had our third touch, meaning from that point we can go ahead and execute right after the market gives us a few bearish candlesticks to show a reversal indeed, like without risking any more of your capital. So you can see we had our first bearish candlestick there, and then our second one. So we could have basically opened at the opening of the third one, put our stop loss right above the highest point of the third touch, so which is right there, and then just scale it down. Honestly, just scale it down, and that's basically the setup that we have currently. So remember that we have two types of corrections. Either it's a continuation correction or a reversal correction. And in this video, I explained how both of these would happen. I've given you two scenarios where here we have a reversal correction where it was ascending, and then it gave us an impulse to the downside followed by this nice correction or flag, and then a continuation to the downside. And then here you can see we illustrated how continuation correction looks like. We had a more of like a flat It's not that flat, but it's relatively flat, so that's fine. We had a flat structure there, giving us this nice continuation. So that is it for today's video. I just hope this information is so helpful for you guys. But yeah, go ahead and try to apply what I just taught you in this video and see how it works out for you. And if you guys have great feedback, you can leave the comments down below, or just DM us on our setups page, which is Manando the Goat setups, where we basically post all the setups that we see come across, and some of them we use them to create these videos. And yeah, just make sure you go and check that out. So thank you guys for today's video. It was such a very informative video, but unfortunately we're gonna end it right here and leave it short. So till the next video.